Hi everyone, thank you for joining today to see this weekly summary that we will be doing starting today. The main idea is to have a quick overview of the global trends in the different financial markets, and in that way we can have a very strong idea about the trend and the sentiment for the week ahead. We will go through across different markets like the stocks, currencies, and also we'll take a look to the cryptocurrencies as well. Just a quick reminder that this is not financial advice, that this is only for fun and entertainment and learning. So if you want to make your own investment decisions, you need to find your own personal advisor, right? So so this is only for entertainment purpose. So okay, so let's move on and let's start. So for this week, one of the most important things is that in the week that we just ended, in the last week of August, very important for the stock market. We were getting 2 weeks of strong recovery, 2 months of strong recovery after the significant correction in the global markets in the first semester of the 2022. uh, Mainly because we observed that all the markets start increasing the interest rates as a response of the significantly high uh, inflation, right? Post-pandemic recovery. So, so that will be the main conclusion. We will see that in many American stock markets, that's the trend. Some of them are looking better than others, more attractive right now, right? Uh, and that's also the overall trend in many other markets. So, okay, let's move on to the specific, right? So now here I have my graph, four graphs here. This is my default template. So I like to compare here with the weekly trend. This is the daily. This is 4 hours and 1 hour. So the purpose is to compare how we are seeing today the short-term trend with the long-term trend, right? So the Standard and Poor 500, we know that in the very long term, uh, we had extraordinary positive growth for many years. So that's why the price action is still far beyond the 200 weekly moving average, which is a good thing, right? If we here a couple of weeks ago here in June, after the significant correction, we were very close, but it's a good bullish signal to see that the price action rebound and stay away from this, right? So this is a very healthy correction that we are seeing right now. But when we move to the daily, right, we see here that after the peak near to the 5,000 in the Standard & Poor 500, we got the correction until 3,600, and now in the last 2 weeks, in last 2 months, after we have their rebound, and it's very interesting that the rebound stopped exactly in the 200 moving average in a daily graph, which is a significant and very important resistance that we need to break if we want to say that the bearish sentiment of 2022 is finished. So for now, we cannot say that. For now, that's exactly what happened on Friday, right? That the significant decrease on Friday, it's a consequence of or it's the materialization of the fears that the correction might not be ending. So that's very important, because that means that in our portfolio we have to make some adjustment to protect in case that the price action can push the Standard and Poor's to come back again to the lowest level in the 3600, right? Or who knows, maybe testing the 200 moving average on a weekly basis. So So that is the main message now, right? And the main lesson for this. If we take let's take a quick look to another index. Let me come back to the American index here, right? So we have the Nasdaq. Nasdaq looks strongest than the Standard and Poor, but obvious. And one of the things that I like about the Nasdaq is that in the last 2 weeks, the price action come back. So it's a good thing that we can see at least one of the three major in American indexes with price action above the daily 200 days moving average. That is a very good signal. But of course, if the market turns very thin, that means that this price action will quickly come back below the 200 days moving average. But that's something interesting to see. So Dow Jones, the 30 industrial American stocks, very similar behavior than Standard and Poor, so very weak for the week ahead. The Russell 2000 index, very similar. This is following exactly the same behavior than Standard and Poor, so the most likely is that we will see a negative sentiment soon, right? Then now for a quick review through sector to see which one is strongest and which one are the weakest. So this is for materials. Yes, very weak, and this is highly correlated with the economy, right? XLI. This is another Excel materials. Okay, this is industrial, right? It's a HPDR index. So also very similar behavior to the Standard and Poor 500. XLK, which is technology, similar pattern, getting a lot of bearish action in 200. So very weak, very volatile as well. So it's not a good place to stay. Any of the sectors that we just saw. Consumer discretionary also looks really bad. Consumer discretionary, so it's not a safe place to stay. Same as financial, they are very correlated also with the economy and the trend and the inflation and rates. Healthcare has it has a bearish sentiment, but the volatility is really lower. So this is a good place to stay compared with any of the others right now. Definitely, this is a choice number one. Then consumer staples also looks good. This is always a place where people, for example, McDonald's it's in this index. So it's like people always need to eat, right? So they will spend money always in the action in the shares in the consumer staples. So XLU, this is utilities. Utilities also looks it's a safe place to also put your money in this very volatile time. So summarizing, very rich market. Nasdaq look is strongest than others, and safest place to allocate in the medium term is consumer staples, healthcare, and utilities. Okay, moving forward to the next section. So now we want to go to the stock exchange across the world. So, okay, so the PIX, it's a very important indicator. This is about volatility. It was very stable below 20 and around 15. Many in a big portion of 2021, and now the spike until 35. I think 40. Yeah, it got almost 40 in 2022. And like I say, we have the last 2 months were from recovery, so that means that the volatility will decrease and the peaks follow. But I will say that this is a very bad signal, right? To to see in the market. Let's move on for the emerging markets. Emerging market looking very bad, and this is not something only from 2022. This is something that already started in 2021. So in 2021 we got a peak at the beginning of the year. Then when we have a first semester very quiet, and then the downtrend start. This is obviously very influenced by the China market. But also here you can find Brazil, uh, uh, many Latin American markets, and or any commodity market in here. In another section, in another occasion, we will go through more details. Uh, so China, like we say, right, is looking really bad. Also, starting the weakness 2021. But the next year is looking better for the economic growth in China. Europe, this is the leading 50 stocks. So with this, we can have a quick overview of what's going on. So similar here to the Standard and Poor, very negative, very rich. Let's take a look to the some specific market. For example, the UK. UK is looking strong. I mean, there is a correction here, right? But it's a very stable stock market. So definitely something that it's like looks like a safe place to put your money. Then this is the German, so this is the most influential market in the eurozone, right? So looking very bad. This is the IBEX, or how you say in Spanish. So it's Spain. Very negative. Also, there is a very negative trend that it seems is coming from many years. Then we have the French, the CAC, CAC. So similar here to the Standard and Poor, right? Follow almost exactly. Let's take a look to the another Latin American. So this is the Mexican, very similar to the American market. Significant correction 2022, and here the price is stuck in the lower level in the daily graph. So this is a very bad signal. So Mexico is not looking good. The Bovespa, there is this looks strong. This is very interesting. There are some volatility here, right? But it seems that it's trying to make a new uptrend. Yeah, it, uh, this is a very interesting market. I mean, we in the next chapter we can take more details. The Merval, this is the Buenos Aires. This is looking so strong, very interesting after so many years getting bad, but it's getting a strong from June. Very interesting. Maybe we can take a look later, right? And then the Peruvian looking weak. Some kind of collateral behavior now near to the lower level. And the Chilean, I have it here. Also, not so good. Very weak, and it has been very weak for many years. I think the peak was in 2011, and it's not able to recover. Now it's in the lower band of the trend in the long term. It's very bearish. So next, that we can take a look to the Asia. Also, the Japanese market is already open. Yes, there is some kind of weakness here, but it's a very stable market with some kind of uptrend. So it's not looking so bad like many European or the American markets, or many Latin American markets, right? So this is the Korean, looking weak, very weak. Now we have here a gap 2%, very negative. this is one of the Chinese index. This is for Shenzhen Stock Exchange. Very weak. This is Nifty. So this is the 50. So in Asia, this is one of the markets that I'm very bullish. The Indian market looking strong, very strong, and with many companies leaving China and thinking to start opening a significant plant in India. It's a good positive news for this market. This is another. This is the global. Uh, yes, this is another Indian market and also looking very strong. All right. Let's take a look. Okay, so before we move to the next, so summarizing the overall markets looking weak in America, in the American continent, we have a strong Argentinian market. So maybe we can take a look on that in a future chapter, and also there is some strength in the Brazilian and very weak in Mexico, and in the European market, very weak following up the United States and looking for a very stable behavior in the UK stock exchange, and in Asia a lot of weakness. Japanese looking strong with some bearish but low volatility, and the Indian market looking very strong. Let's take a quick look to the currencies. So we know that the dollar has been like any time that there is uncertainty, the dollar gets strong against many other currencies. So the most significant example today that we can see is in the euro stock. So it's below the parity, and there's nothing here that I can see that is something that will change in the short term. So very weak the euro and strong US dollar. The GBP, the UK, the sterling pound, right, the British pound, also looking very weak, following the yen. Look at this, 138. So today is already open and keep jumping. Wow, this looks like a historical rates. So very interesting here. This change from this is like a 20%. Wow. This is a Swiss franc. Also weak against the dollar. This is the Chilean currency, also weak. The Australian dollar going down, getting weak again against the US dollar. The Canadian again going up in this exchange, so it's getting weak. And this is the index across the DXY. It's a currency index against the with the 10 more important currencies against the US dollar. Now we can see the this index start in 2021 getting strong, and that is something that in 2022 is getting very strong. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is the cryptocurrencies. What's going on in the crypto market? This is a very interesting uh, market. Okay, let's start with Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? So this is looking really bad. So this is the weekly graph, and in the last 2 months, the price action of the Bitcoin went below the 200 moving average, which is something really bad, and that didn't happen since 2019. but not even there, the price was so bad. Probably I will say 2017. So it's a really bad news for the market. In the daily price, the behavior was really similar to the stock market, right? The behavior in the daily, it's also very weak. So we have some weak rebound, but any time that the price try to go or go too up, the market push down. So this is definitely not a good signal. Bitcoin is the most important because it will impact the behavior of everything else, right? The second most important currency, it's the Ethereum. So Ethereum, similar behavior, right? But the recovery was strongest than the Bitcoin. This is because we have the update that it was 1 week or 2 weeks ago, right? And this update was positive, and it's a very good thing for the crypto market because it will expand the it will make the currency more significant. You can do more transactions with it. So but right now it's in 1400, and this doesn't look good. Only when we recover again, when price action is above the 200 moving average, we can say that the bearish end. But for now, it's trying to fight here in the 200. If we lose the 200 in the 1300, we can see very bad uh, days for the Ethereum. But compared with Bitcoin, it's getting stronger. So let's take a look to the others. Maybe, for example, Atom, which is one of the most significant cryptocurrency. Look at this decrease from 44 to 10. This is like 75, 80% down. So many of the currencies are looking cheap right now, but I will not rush to say that the downtrend already finished. We had indeed 2 months of good recoveries, uh, but the last 2 weeks were really bad. But if the stock market for 2022 has been very highly correlated with the cryptocurrency, that doesn't mean that will be for the second half of the year, right? But if the behavior remains, maybe we can see some similar. But the sentiment is still bearish. This is a very nice rebound in Atom. Avalanche is another. This is looking really weak. Nothing to do with Avalanche. I don't know what happened with this project. Probably will not take a look. Binance Smart Change. This is a very nice rebound from 200 to 300 and something, 50% up. Uh, Binance is a very strong ecosystem, and there are many projects working in this blockchain. So definitely, uh, it's a strong project. It's cheap, but I will not say yet it's time to go up here. So Polkadot here looking very weak. After a nice rebound, it it lost the strength very quickly. I don't know what is the status of this project. I remember the last time they were in many beta, but let's see if they are recovering. Phantom is looking very bad. This is really bad. Phantom is, I think probably this Phantom was a really nice player. I really like it when I studied. But I think maybe it's going on. What is going on here is because for the NFT market, they have many NFTs, uh, and we are definitely in the winter of the NFT market. So maybe that is pushing also the bad sentiment here. Gala is also NFT, but more related with the games. So it's really weak here, but it's super cheap. It's this, but it is interesting that it's like waiting for his moment, right? I will take a look close in the next couple of days. Cadena was another very interesting price. Yes, very almost frozen in the lower level. Chainlink, this is a project that is across many cryptocurrency, looking very, very, very weak. Luna, I mean, it doesn't work to talk about this one because it's they really lost credibility. Matic, it was another one, I would say similar to Binance, where there are many projects working here with some kind of strength, but it's too early to say that the winter has finished. Origin looking very weak. They keep going down. One, very very weak as well. It's just scratched down and has not been able to recover. Rose, this is for Facebook. It got a very nice rebound here, 100%, but it lose his momentum very quickly. So Lana, that's also another very important network, looking very very weak. Soul, okay, so this is a gaming, and it's trying to this look some kind of strength here, which is not bad. But overall, the projects are looking more negative than positive. Okay, so I will stop right here. Maybe we'll continue the next week. But in general, the sentiment is very varied for this week across multiple type of financial assets. Um, so let's see how the week uh, develops, and if there is anything interesting for the next week. The next week we will start making a virtual portfolio, so we can apply this, because the idea is to apply this knowledge, right? So the next week we will make a make portfolio, and we will follow across the next during all this 2022. So let's see how it is, and then what we can pick, or what maybe we cannot pick yet the next week. All right, thank you to everyone. See you soon.